Shoddy like a melody.
In my head. Oh, nah, every day.
Both of my hands came down in a slap on my desk.
I thought you were going to say I just slammed my hands into my face.
I know.
Hey, I thought we'd mix it up a little.
Yeah, definitely different from last time.
That's different
sure.
from the other ones.
It's literally the peak
That's
of
new.
comedy. I don't understand why you're not laughing.
Yeah. They're professionals. They laughed at it. It must be true. It has to be.
It is. I've been saying this for weeks.
It is true. We laughed at it before they laughed at it.
It's funny, goddamn.
Oh man, you guys were ahead of the curve on.
Yeah, just like Dogecoin.
Oni
That's
plays.
right.
Wow, you guys are you're tearing it up. Right. Absolutely tearing it up.
Goddamn right.
Now they're quoting you.
Comedy,
How
I'm
does
a
that
billionaire.
feel?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel fucking famous.
That's great. That's fucking fantastic.
You guys would not enjoy how I am deciding to record this.
Why are you recording it?
With your
Oh
feet
no, not like
pressed
recording this,
against
but
the
like
screen.
how I'm resting here talking.
Oh,
I
With
have
your
my
feet
shirt
pressed against the screen.
I have my pants pulled up really high and my shirt rolled up so my nipples are out.
Hell yeah.
why
That's
did you
good.
decide to do that, Kaz?
It's kind of hot
Can you?
in my room.
It's hot in your room.
Oh,
So it's
That,
hot.
that was an intentional
kinda hot.
pause.
That's good.
It's kind of hot in your room, so you hiked your pants up higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
The heat
Let the steam
radiates
out of
Oh,
from
your
my
legs.
nipples.
From your nipples, and specifically,
right.
your nipples
Yeah.
radiate heat. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to get your pants as close as possible, but while letting your nipples be exposed.
You could boil some water right now if you put like a cup there.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. You ever like rub an egg on your nipples?
Yeah, but I'm like, all right, but this is
I'm
the
not
thing.
falling for that one again.
This is the thing I'm worried about. So it's hot,
Okay.
and you're obviously
Okay.
feeling it because you got the swamp balls.
Check.
So you
Yeah,
pull
alright.
your pants.
Oh no, they're ice cold.
Your balls are ice cold.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can understand why you would have to dress in that manner to cool yourself.
Yeah.
My biology is different than yours.
I see it. You hear that you're built different. I hear that.
You sound subhuman.
Yeah, definitely.
A little bit.
This is a good start to the podcast. This is
Welcome
real
to
good.
the podcast, everyone.
Hello, I'm you already know who I am. And we got KazGator,
What?
and we have Mariosack.
Yeah.
That's
Dragon,
what
why didn't you introduce yourself?
I did. You already know who I am. They already know.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
Come
they
on.
do. We do this every
Nobody
time.
came here for you.
Oh, did they not? Did they not? From my follow
No.
list.
No.
Absolutely not.
Nobody came here.
They came here for the
regardless.
Crayola.
That's true. It is pretty amazing. We
Please help me.
They saw the funny little logo on the screen and they said,
Please help me.
Is that the noise they make when they see clickbait?
Yeah,
They're
that's
like,
the noise they make.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the noise I make.
Is it?
Yeah.
See a YouTube
I
thumbnail.
smile
I go,
and I go, I see Shoddy like a melody and I go,
Then I look away and I realize it's in my head.
It's in my head on my iPod.
I wonder. I hope. No, I'm glad. This is.
The fact that you don't find it funny makes it so much.
Oh yeah, I know. It's just gonna. But I'm glad. I'm glad that it's on camera. So in 2 years, when I link this podcast to you, you realize what fucking morons you were for fucking
And you
pushing
know
this
what?
joke.
I swear to God,
I
will
still
still
find it
laugh.
funny. Yeah.
I know Mario will.
I will still laugh.
I'm hoping Kaz will gain a little bit of shame. I know Mario won't.
What?
I
Why would I
know.
gain
no.
shame over comedy? The peak.
How is
Why
it?
do you boo? You know I'm right.
It's outrageous. And now I've just become the target of it, and it's just going to get worse because they know I don't think it's funny,
It's like a melody in your head, or
and it's gonna like repeat
gonna-
and repeat and repeat until it is
On
funny. Like
replay in your head.
like it's gonna be one of those things. It's like E, where everybody was laughing at
every
E.
day. got my iPod sticker replay.
Fucking shit.
Now, if anyone doesn't understand what we're talking about, search up Squilliam Johnny Ability.
It's not funny.
It's incredibly funny.
It's not funny. I mean, I know comedy is
Holy fuck.
as subjective as it gets, but the video they're referring to is not funny.
It's
And
incredibly
No, it
funny.
is funny.
this is a
It's
bizarre.
a very complicated reason why it's funny. Because deep down, it really isn't that funny. But the way you react and the way other people react makes it so much better.
So this is the basic of the basic. This is like the E meme that makes it, just because some people were laughing at it and other people didn't, they laughed harder. Like E.
The only E meme that was funny was when it was the Markiplier edit with the audio. That one was funny.
I didn't see that one.
I haven't actually seen that one.
Assorted reasons, it's funny. See? We're right.
That guy has money.
The reasons
So he's right.
That cannot be.
That
that cannot be the denominator. That cannot be the denominator on whether somebody's right is that they have money, because Elon Musk has money.
Yeah, but reasons is my friends, and I'm right.
Your friends?
Yeah, he counts
Plural?
as two.
Plural?
He counts as two.
So
I don't have many.
him and his wallet is the plural there.
I don't have a lot of friends.
Oh, okay. So we got to split out friends to make it seem like more. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I understand
how
the
that works.
play. I get that. No, that
Have
makes
you
sense.
never done that?
No, I have never needed to, because I don't laugh at stupid ass jokes about a crappy ass fucking R&B song.
I have 50 alternate accounts on Twitter following me.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah.
How many followers do you have on Twitter?
Like 100, but 30 of them are bots.
Okay. Have you ever gone on Twitter and
No.
fucking put in those keywords that make bots follow you? Have you ever done that?
No.
I've
No.
seen people take screenshots of it. Like they'll post like Star Wars, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, and other and it's just one word after the other, and then suddenly they jump up like 78 followers because of the bots that fucking do that.
I don't want to do that.
I've seen people that do that.
That sounds. Well, that sucks because then it's like bloat.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they
Just
care.
followers
I think they
or
just find it
something.
funny.
It is funny, but like that's terrible that can act. You can do that.
Yeah, that's been going on since like 2015 or something like that. I mean, probably before then, but I've seen people post screenshots of it. Like, boom, check
It's
it out.
It's always the same type of bot account that follows me. It's always like fake like models trying to get you to click the link in their bio.
Oh, I think
Yeah,
we all
It's like-
get that.
It's like, no, I don't care.
I couldn't believe when that popped up on PSN.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That
right?
was shocking.
That was weird.
it was so strange to be sitting there and then, do a little fucking noise, and you open it up, and then there it was, some chick who was like, check out this link that's got my big old pussy. You gotta see some of this pussy.
I got one that was for a BBW. I was like, what part
Oh, good.
of anything that I do makes you think that I want that?
they when you ask that question, it just immediately prompts Dark Souls.
Yeah, they should show you that.
Fucking,
I was really hoping we could like make this like the last podcast where we didn't talk about Dark Souls at all.
No.
But then you had to just do it.
Yeah.
Talk about man-eater Mildred's stinky pussy.
I don't want to talk about
Hell
Andrew
yeah.
Mildred's stinky pussy. I don't want to do that.
All right, fine.
I had I had a really sad moment when I used to work in the store that I once worked at, where one of the guys was talking to my dad, some guy that was uploading some shipment, and he was getting frustrated with me because he wanted me to help him with his email, and it became more and more apparent that he was trying to talk to some woman that he was talking to,
Great.
and he got scammed out of a bunch of money. And he's like,
Oh.
no, I actually, I talked to them. I heard voicemails from them. They're real. And I just had to like get back to work, and I just kind of watched as like my dad was also picking up on what I was putting down. and he was just kind of explaining, "Hey man, I'm sorry, but I don't think that woman's real. I think you just got scammed out of a bunch of money, dude."
She's a local single in my area. It says
How
right
could it be
there.
fake?
What? How could this be wrong?
It's right
I felt so
there.
bad. I felt so bad for him to see like the an actual person that fell for that. I didn't think that existed.
Well,
Dude, it happens all the time.
yeah, it has to. I mean, think about all the, you
Oh,
know,
the fact that they exist.
they exist for as long as they have.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
It
why we
wouldn't.
saw the infamous pop up of Pancho Sama in the face. Complete this puzzle. Check
You
out
are
this
Oh,
our
hot
yeah.
1
chick.
millionth visitor.
You're our one. Yeah, I mean, all that stuff works on people. It just doesn't work on anybody who spent more than 10 minutes on the internet.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I sat down with my dad a long time ago, and I wasn't concerned about him clicking on that shit because he was smart enough to not deal with that. I was concerned about one of those IT scams where they, send you an email about we've detected such and such on your computer, let us help type thing.
Yeah.
Give us access to. I was concerned he would get hit on one of those, and it took me forever to explain to him that it was just like a bank. Those people won't fucking call you. Your
Yeah.
bank calls you when there's a problem, and they barely ever even they don't even acknowledge your information for that exact reason. They don't
Mhm.
call you and then ask you your PIN number. That makes no sense. Like they know who you are.
Yeah,
That's
They know
the
it.
that's ridiculous. And I was happy to help him with that. But and so far he has never told me like I downloaded Norton antivirus and now I can't fucking
Oh
use my
god.
computer. He's never called me with
Yeah.
that, which is good. So he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Unlike some friends I had back in the day, because I told you guys I used to play football and shit. So those guys were not computer literate. Like
Yeah.
I was, because I was fascinated by technology as much as I was playing sports and shit. And I got to tell you, those guys were like, "Oh man, they said there was like this free T-shirt I could get, and it was a pretty bitchin' T-shirt. So of course I gave them my number, and I don't know why they needed my social, but they got it. I'm like, oh
Oh.
no, like
Why
you
Oh.
fucking people. Well, I wanted a T-shirt, man.
don't you
Makes me
understand?
makes me think of fucking the coworker that I used to work with. He explained to me how he one time got fooled by one of those fucking phone calls telling him, "You have just won a free like discount thing at this store. Please give us your like information, your phone number, everything." And he gave it to them. And stupid as shit, he went to that store and he like waited around and he's like, "Where's my thing, man? I'm here waiting for it. I got the
Ugh.
phone call. They told me." and,
Oh,
and they had to tell him, "Oh, that's not. I'm sorry, sir. That's not real.
you're
Oh
an idiot.
man,
You're an idiot."
it's like pyramid schemes out there.
No.
Those are the worst. I can't. I don't understand how you have an entire running joke on every cartoon, every sitcom, every even there's a lot of movies that talk about pyramid schemes and how they're explicitly negative in every way, and yet a company like Amway can continue to exist, and I
Yeah.
can't figure that one out for the life of me. How and that we make pyramid schemes illegal, and they are allowed to continue to exist with the pyramid
That's right.
setup. I mean, I know, system is broken, rich people do what they want, type deal. But man, it's so blatantly fucking evil. Grabbing a water that it's
Disgusting bastard.
and I think we should. That's if we could start teaching certain economic stuff in school, that would be so good. Just little basic shit like
Yeah.
this is what a pyramid scheme is. Don't let your buddies convince you to do this. Don't let them convince your mom to do this because the big Tupperware thing that happened. Can't forget the Tupperware thing.
Oh yeah.
All that shit. And I wish they would do that instead of putting in super tests that mean nothing about stuff you're going to forget in 2 weeks because you studied for something else
Yeah.
anyway. And it's so sad. I could write
Yeah.
books on the education system. I fucking hate most of it. because none of it makes any
Yeah.
sense. Why aren't we teaching kids how to pay their taxes? Why aren't we teaching kids? Most schools don't even do driver's ed anymore.
Oh no. Mine didn't.
Yeah, this super common thing that everyone's gonna have to do at some point. Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Love pyramid schemes. They destroyed an entire country once.
Yeah, which one was that one?
Albania.
Yeah. Like, but here, but it's such an obvious thing. No one can explain to you the business model without drawing a fucking pyramid.
Yeah.
Well, and they're like, but it's not a pyramid scheme.
It's the promise of it. They just want, the opportunity.
Yeah, it's like getting on the ground floor of the stock market. That's what they convince you. And there's a lot of religion that comes into a lot of those pyramid scheme things. God has a plan for you. God wants you to sign this.
You gotta have faith.
This is the opportunity that God has been trying to give you. There's a lot of that. I've seen it firsthand, like actually there, not stories from people. I mean, I saw that shit.
Oh yeah, so they'll prey on any way they can.
Yep. Yeah. I went with my buddy. I was happy to do it because I love making him look stupid. But this was my old roommate, and he went with him. He was in Amway when I met him. And he was out of Amway within 2 weeks of me meeting him. And he got the impression that I was somebody who knew what they were talking about. And while he was trying to sell me on the idea of it, I went through his papers and proved that he had not made a profit on it in like 9 months ever. And then he said, "Well, come down to the group and come talk to these guys and see what you think." Sure enough, I knew I'd hate them. I mean, I went in there biased as shit. But I went in there, and that's what it was. It was like a mega church. It was like a fucking mega church.
Oh.
Well, there was 7 or 8 dudes walking up down the stage, yelling about God's plan for you, the opportunity, all this. I mean, it was like that, and people were eating it up. They because they just don't have anything, and had been convinced by their neighbor who was in on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To come down there, and it's so sad, and I'm one of those people. I don't like saying, well, they're fucking dumb. They get what they deserve. Right? I don't like doing that because I know there's some people who just genuinely get manipulated.
Or they get tricked.
Yeah, they get tricked and lied to. And some people just don't have that experience to understand when that's happening to them. It's not their fault. Maybe they had good parents growing up. They don't know what lying is. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? Like, but I always sympathize with the victims in that stance, even if they will actively fight you to stop being one. I always sympathize with them. I try to, at least. Sometimes they do get on my nerves. It's easy, but that kind of shit. But anyway, he got out of Amway and he realized that they had kind of brainwashed him and that he was just suckling at the teat of hope that was non-existent, dry, and was not helping him. No mommy milkers.
Damn it.
Fuck. No mommy milkers. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
What was the point of all this?
Yeah.
Why? That's all I came here for.
It was bad. And I saw another one that involves some people where they try to convince you. This is another common one for anybody out there. They try to convince you that paper money is going dead. Don't use it. And they tell you to buy things like coins or sapphires, Dogecoins, rubies. They try to get you to invest in some other type of currency that isn't actually currency. Mostly coins. That's a big one. Coins and gems. But then when you get your gem, when you put in your $200, which is supposedly worthless, but they want it. They want your worthless gas money for some reason.
Right.
They send you this sapphire, and you look it over, and you think, wow, this is so cool, I got a sapphire. No. That is a lab-grown fucking sapphire. It's worth nothing. Yeah, it's worth fucking nothing. That did not come out of the ground. We never went to the moon.
Implanted in your forehead.
No, I'm kidding. But I mean, that's what it sounds like, too, when you tell them that, because they don't understand. They don't understand that we can just make gems and gemstones in a lab.
Yeah.
And the reasons that the ones that we pull out of the ground are expensive is A, in total control demand over the market, just total crap. But it's the imperfections. It's the
Yeah.
imperfections. The more clear it is, the more impure it is. I know that sounds weird to people, but that's the case. If it was more dense and more pure of a gemstone, it would be fucking cloudy as shit. So, which people don't want. They don't want cloudy whatevers. They
Mhm.
want pure and beautiful, and I can see through it, and that's whatever. But it's not actually pure. So, but the ones that you get from labs are pure, and that's why they're fucking worthless.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just they're nothing. They make those by the dollar, no problem. So that's my rant about pyramid schemes. I don't.
That's your TED talk.
Basically, keep your head on a swivel at all times. And if some friend, and just go with the universal rule, if somebody offers you something that's too good to be true, chances are
It is.
it is. Almost
It
always.
almost always is.
Yeah. If you ever hear somebody say, "How would you like to be your own boss?" Fucking walk away from that guy. That dude's lying.
Yep.
That dude's lying super hard.
How would you offer me that?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. How do you, a person who is about to become my boss, tell me how to be my own boss? And all that product you just dumped on my driveway and said get rid of it or pay for it yourself.
Yeah, all right.
So it's one of those things. Be very careful out there, guys. It's spooky. And don't fall for IT scams. You know what antivirus you have on your computer. You know what it is.
None.
None. That's right. Ah, fool. Foolish IT company of
It is
fakeness.
funny.
You couldn't fool me. I have no virus protection. But that's my rant on that. What have you guys been up to lately?
You know, I have this melody.
I knew it was gonna be one of those.
And I knew you were gonna go for it.
I knew. I was coming.
Yeah, I've been just doing my usual work, doing commissions and shit. Drawn. Fucking
Yeah.
Relaxing all
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
shooting some b-ball outside
relaxing
the
all
school.
cool, shooting some b-ball outside the school. But then a couple of guys, they were
Beat
up
the
to
shit
no
out of me.
good.
I went to the hospital. It sucked.
And now I have this melody stuck in my
They
head.
fucking.
I
they-
was
Yeah.
I've been playing Control. Fucking, it's like 3 years old now, or a couple years old now. Fuck, that game's good.
Oh yeah. Why don't you talk about that for a bit? Because that's a.
Control is such a good game,
Yeah,
and
yeah, tell me about
I
it.
didn't expect it to hit so many notes that I like at once.
Uh-huh.
Because like it's really heavily inspired by SCP like things.
I was getting that impression when I saw the
And
government compound that you were running
Yeah,
through.
I fucking
Yeah.
love that. I fucking loved it. I love shit like that. And like some of the visuals are amazing. The game runs pretty well on PC, not on PS4 apparently.
Oh, that sucks.
That's been a trend recently.
The
Yeah,
visuals,
right?
the visuals and like the art direction of the game is so good. Cause there's a lot of things. It's hard to really get a feeling of the ominous, and like it's really hard to instill fear in something without showing you like a scary monster.
Right.
But Control does it in a way that just makes you uncomfortable to walk towards something, where it's like walls shifting in impossible ways, or just an entire room of red lights with floating bodies in the air chanting. Like, I don't want to walk in that room. I don't care if I have a gun. That's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it feels
does.
creepy as shit.
It's
I'm like,
unnatural.
yeah.
And it does a really good it uses really good use of like belief and unreality when it comes to like the lore in the game. It's one of the only games where I've stopped and read out loud every single thing I picked up.
Damn.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's a compliment.
It's very from what I've seen of your streams whenever you're playing it. It seems it really gets you wrapped up in the fucking insanity of the shit going
You
on.
want to discover what's happening. It really makes you curious.
It's like that scene where the guy's explaining what happens if you're not wearing your equipment, and he goes, "Well, you're sure as hell going to be happy if you're wearing this in case something goes wrong, because a lot of redacted will get in. I can't really explain what that is, but you know,
it'll be painless." No, it won't. Like that's what they say in the government. Like, oh, we recorded this to give to our employees.
Yeah.
In the game, the way the game gives you a lot of information regarding like mechanics and lore is they have FMVs, like real people stood in front of a camera wearing a stupid outfit and explain shit. And the
Yeah.
actors they chose do a really good job of it. The actor for the lead scientist, Darling, does a really good job of slowly getting more unhinged as he realizes how bad things are going to go.
Yep.
I've always liked the retroness of using real people in your cinematics.
Yeah, there's something very interesting.
The aesthetic inside the building is also unique because modern electronics do not work in that environment. You have to use pneumatic tubes. You have to use radio waves.
The Bureau.
The Federal Bureau of Control.
Oh, that's a good name.
That is
That's
a great
really
name.
good fucking name. Yeah.
Federal Bureau of Control. It sounds No, it's rare that we get to talk about a game that is good. I know Control is good. It's obvious why I'm not playing it, but I know it's a good game.
I don't enjoy good games.
What struck me as like, what kind of game is this? Is when you shoot any object you come across, it breaks. Doesn't matter if it's concrete. It doesn't matter if it's a chair or a fucking plant.
Baby.
If you you get telekinesis in the game. You can just rip chunks out of the wall and smash whatever you see. It's so strange that an environment can be so destructible for no reason.
Oh yeah, that was really cool when you were fucking dicking around with that.
Yeah, you can just pick up a chair and just launch it halfway across the room and things will just explode realistically.
Pick up this chair and be like, fuck this chair.
And there are enemies that make use of that because they throw fire extinguishers that explode at you. Or like, oh, cool. I just grabbed 15 chairs and now I have now I have a shield.
Oh, that's cool.
So it gives you control, is what you're saying.
A lot.
Yes.
No, that's cool. I remember the first game I played with a destructible environment was Red Faction 2. And I know it had like those, not everything was destructible, obviously, but enough was destructible.
You got like buildings and shit, right?
Yeah, you could burst through walls or, decide to do that. And I remember thinking that was so fucking cool. And then I played Bad Company 2. And
that's what I was about to say.
I felt like that game was training me for Bad Company 2 in order to be like, I could go floor by floor killing these guys, or
let me just knock this building down.
Let's that looks like it's holding something up. Boom. The whole thing just comes crashing down.
The thing that made me realize how far we've come when it comes to video games is, sure, Bad Company 2 had destructible buildings and environments. Yeah, but Battlefield 1 had the Hindenburg coming down at you.
Right.
At certain points. Like you've never played a game before where you look up and see a blimp fiery raining down on your head. Like it's so cool.
I think Battlefield 1 is the only game.
And then you got Minecraft?
I think that's destructible. I think Battlefield 1 is the one game where the idea that the battlefield changed as you fought on it it wasn't perfect, but if you played in some of those fortress attack stuff, the ground point controls and shit like that, the game modes they had, it would literally change based on how many explosives were fucking used by the players, and then suddenly, there's trenches of craters in the ground that you will now be hopping that will not be there in your next game because they didn't fight on that side.
Yep.
And that's just players throwing bullshit around and the whole building's starting to slowly fucking come down, bit by bit. And they really did a good job with that because their objective was to make it look like a battlefield after you fought on it.
Yeah.
And they did a good job with that. They really did. So
then they made Battlefield 5, and we won't talk about that.
Battlefield 5 bad. But I do miss Battlefield 1. I just tweeted out the other day that clip of me killing that guy with a grenade who was about to stab me in the ass.
Oh yeah.
That was the one time in my life I intended for something to happen in an FPS to look cool,
and it worked.
Like the one fucking time, and I was like, "That's Battlefield 1." I don't think I could have done that in any other game, but that was Battlefield 1. And it was almost like its bugs were a feature.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. There was just fun. It was a fun fucking game.
I remember there was one match I played where the game was extremely buggy after a certain update for me, and I couldn't figure out why. It eventually went away, but I spent a whole match as a cavalry unit with no weapons.
Yeah.
I could only run over people or just like throw grenades at them.
That sounds right.
I had no rifle. I had no pistol. It was so stupid.
I remember that. I remember driving a tank and then they just decided to fly.
Yep.
Just decided to do that. And then I came down, I crashed down on a building, and some enemy player came up. He put down tank mines, but the building was clipping me in such a way that the tank just didn't activate them. And then when he got close, the tank ran him over, and it was just like, got him. You thought you were big brain, but you were not.
You fool! My actions defy knowledge.
Yeah.
A lot of people give Battlefield 1 shit for its random bullet deviation,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I thought it was alright. You could still get long range kills if you were persistent.
Oh sure, and if you played medic, that was your bread and butter.
Yeah.
Pop, 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 dead. And that was that. It was consistent enough. And I don't think there was. I think it was.
I see a lot of the issues a lot of older Battlefield players had is that they couldn't sit at the other end of the map with an LMG and like snipe people.
Yeah.
It's like, no, these guns have a certain range you got to fight at to be effective.
And even then, you still kind of could.
You could. You just had to be persistent.
Yeah, and and at the end of the day, my major complaint about Battlefield 1 is that every single bullet seemed to be a tracer.
Yeah,
I got done with that. That was annoying because it's like the moment you fire your gun, there's already 3 snipers looking at you.
Oh yeah,
I hated that feeling. That they shouldn't have all been tracers like that. It just drove me nuts. It looked cool, but it got you killed more often than not. And it was so hard to sneak up on a group of people because one guy would deviate, you'd shoot his ass, and then when you were trying to get up to the other 5, some other guy is shooting you from some hill and marking you and all that. And that's just that got annoying. And he wouldn't have seen shit if it wasn't for the fact that my bullets were actually shooting lasers that everyone could see at nighttime. So, but I didn't have a problem with the bullet deviation. I barely ever noticed, really.
Well, I think it wasn't that much of an issue for me because I played in the ranges the guns wanted me to.
Yeah, that was to say. Yeah, when they told me it was a short range weapon, I used it as a short range weapon.
Yeah, it's like nobody read the ranges it's effective at.
Yeah, that's just I don't understand why that's a concept like. But then again, some people would complain in Black Ops that they couldn't reliably kill somebody with a tomahawk from across the map. I heard people complain about shit like that. Yeah, they will complain about that sort of thing. There was that one spot I always loved, that one little canister on the right side of that map where if you threw a tomahawk down it would bounce off 4 different walls and probably hit somebody. And that was always really funny to me to just always do it. And I would miss 2 out of 3 times, but at the times that I did hit, which was more often than you'd think, I would fucking laugh about it and have some, you get that 2-second voice clip of them. Hey, what the fuck? He wasn't even on a fucking thing. Where was he?
Oh, that was the funniest shit. That was so fucking funny.
I love the fact that they just keep that in every single Call of Duty.
Whenever that shit would happen to me, I'd always keep that in mind. And if anything, that was one of those things where, when I was a lot smaller, to stop myself from raging, the funniest thing that I would do is I'm like, they can hear me. I quick say something, and I just go,
Yeah, that shit was the best. I mean, I used to wake up for that fucking game, man. Like that was the purpose of my life for a little while, just to play more fucking Black Ops, and then I guess Black Ops 2, but Black Ops was the one, man. I every fucking dude who hated my guts seeing me run around with that AK-74U, fucking hitting corners constantly, and they'd just be screaming over shit, and it was the best.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Call of Duty is one of the reasons why I can't really get mad at games anymore.
Oh yeah,
because it's like it's so tiring now. Like I don't have the energy to get mad at myself or the other player anymore.
I still do.
Like if they shot me, oh shit, they shot me.
But I will say, like you said, the tolerance level is way higher.
Yeah.
You know, we got those memes nowadays when people are like, "Oh, you're stupid. You're stupid. Oh my God, you better take that back." It's like these people would not survive in a lobby back in 2004.
Oh, yeah.
They would not survive because people were worse back then than they ever were now, and they would get in the dumbest ass arguments for hours. You could just leave. The people in those lobbies, that's what I never understood. You could
leave and
fucking
like
leave.
everyone chose not to.
But they chose to stand there and be like, "Nah, man, you fucking live on this game, dude. You know what happens at 6 o'clock? I go on a date and I get my dick wet. What are you doing? And it would just be that all fucking night. And it was beautiful. It was
like
art.
It's such a contrast because now if I hear a single annoying noise when I play Modern Warfare, I'm like, yep, mute the entire lobby. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But back then it was like you just sat there and kind of listened to it.
Yeah, you waited for the opportunity to laugh because you would do it. But no, I feel that. I do.
I feel like I still have that mentality. Well, not the mentality of like getting upset, but if anything, I would always stick around in those, but it's because it would be funny to me.
Yeah.
Where it would be like just chaos in a shitty little voice call. And I would just pay attention because it's just funny to me that people are getting upset. I'd enjoy playing, but a lot of the enjoyment was also towards people being really upset about it, and I just found it really fucking funny.
It's funny. It's 'cause some people feed off that toxic shit. I feed off that toxic shit. What was that one night? I was playing GTA. One of the few times I ever played GTA 5, and those two guys started arguing constantly at each other, and I just like leaned in with my microphone. We all just listened to them for 20 minutes. At like some point at the end, they'd gotten to the point where they were arguing about the credit limit on their fucking cards. And who was the bigger pussy because such and such. And I'm like, this is it.
Comedy.
What's happening? Like, why?
This is it.
Comedy gold right here.
This is that made my whole fucking week to think about those guys.
I live for this shit.
I'm with Bank of America. I'm with Bank of America. They put my credit limit at $24K, and where are you at? You with fucking Wells Fargo? You know you ain't got money. Fuck you. Argued about each other's fucking banks.
It's like screaming into the abyss. Just
But they get an answer. Every time. You always get an answer. And it's not hard.
People can't help themselves.
No, they can't. And people will pick a fight on the internet in 2 fucking seconds.
Oh, yeah.
For anything.
All I got to do right now is tweet. I'll tweet a tiers list and put Bloodborne at the bottom. And then boom.
You get an instant response.
Instant, yeah. Boom.
Didn't you? When was the last time you did something like that and immediately somebody was upset?
I think it was that. I had said it wasn't a tier list. It was just mistakes that I have made in life. And then I quoted myself going, "Oh man, Bloodborne is going to be so good." And that was the mistake, right? The implied in there. And then fucking, oh my God. It was like 2 or 3 responses immediately. One of which had known that I didn't like Bloodborne, but still fucking did it anyway. And was like, I'm about fucking tired of you shitting on that game. They put this and this, and this is a really good representation of this. And and the other 2 were just like, oh, explain yourself. Explain yourself immediately.
Right now.
Who are you?
Explain yourself.
Who are you?
How dare
like,
you?
I think
How do you know that game is a masterpiece?
one of the most annoying things would be like the comment that PZ made right now, where like it's like mad cause bad, or it's like haha. So it looks like somebody never got good, and it's like fuck you, idiot! I've played 10K hours. I'm better than you at this game.
It's like I can play this fucking game with my eyes closed. I know for a fact it's bad.
Yeah.
My favorite like Bloodborne moment was you remember that time I played through Bloodborne again and that guy came into my Discord and started talking with us?
Oh my God,
and for like 30 minutes straight we dogged on how bad Bloodborne was and he never showed up again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the greatest fucking thing.
People take those games to heart. They really do fucking take those games to heart, man. They
Guy was
can't.
kind of a prick too.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't miss him. I'll say that much. But
I don't even remember who he is or who he was.
No,
but I do know that it's easy to pick a fight on the internet. You just have to pick out easy little games that aren't, and it's okay. You can criticize good
you
games.
can not enjoy things. That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. And there's some good games
Well,
out there that even I criticize.
That's the funny thing, because I remember I was talking to him and I was like, Bloodborne isn't a bad game, but
Yeah,
as the overall experience of Bloodborne could have been better
that's an
if they told the
understatement.
story in a different way, if they didn't do like this with their gameplay mechanics. But he didn't want to hear any of it.
put all the weapons in a weird fucking area.
I still need to make, maybe that'll be one of the solo podcasts, and it'll be like an unlisted
Why I hate
podcast.
Badborn.
Yeah, of everything that I can't stand, and it goes outside of PvP, and you guys know that. I have legitimate PvE problems with that game.
Yeah,
There are a lot of PvE problems with
Yeah.
Bloodborne.
And I would
Like,
just make
and-
that, and then anytime some jackass asks me why I don't play Souls or Bloodborne, I can just link them that video.
I think one of the most eye-opening moments to that mentality was like the idea of somebody who immediately, when you say one negative thing, you can lead up with, I think this game is a good game, but I think that these are problems to it, and these are things that I really don't enjoy about it. And people would immediately like suspect, why do you hate this game?
Yeah,
And
it
I
doesn't
think the
matter.
best moment of that was when I was talking to Nick about Nier Automata, and he said, I just really don't like the map. And my legit honest response to him immediately was, why do you hate Nier Automata? and he got so mad at me, and I was like, oh fuck, no, you're right, I am fucking stupid.
I would have assumed that was a joke when you said that.
No, but I said it like so honestly. Like I said, why do you hate Nier Automata? Like I said it like with a genuine question, where I was like, I thought it was pretty good. Why do you hate it? And he's just like, I don't hate it. Everyone keeps saying that I hate it. I don't. I
Well,
just
and
have problems with certain things.
That comes down to a lot of people who are not able to separate the good feeling that they had with the feeling that someone else would have, where they can't imagine that you wouldn't enjoy it the same way that they did. They just can't. They can't snap out of that, and you get a lot of that with especially a lot of like older games and JRPGs and shit like that. When I say,
oh yeah,
I don't give a fuck about Final Fantasy VII. I just don't. I can't fucking care. I don't give a shit about Final Fantasy VII. But you better believe that if I streamed that game, the original, obviously, if I streamed that fucking game, 7 or 8 people would come in and out of that playthrough telling me how to do every little thing, and if I fucking don't, then my experience isn't like their experience, and I'm not giving it a fair shake. You're doing it the wrong way. It's like a mixture of backseating, which everybody has had experience with. It's a mixture.
You love that.
Yeah, you love backseating, but also this impossible to reach nostalgia, and the people who are the worst about it are the ones that make excuses for what you're doing constantly. Mm-hmm. They're like, it's a great game. Oh, the driving is a little dated. Oh, it's a great game. Oh, this is bad. This is bad, and this is 10 years old, and they didn't know about this, so they didn't do that, and they just go through it and through. It's like, just let the dude fucking play it or not. Just let him play it.
Yeah.
They don't have to love this thing that you obviously liked 10 years ago, because they're not going to relive that experience, and you can't relive that experience, and you're not going to do it vicariously through them either. It's just not going to happen.
When I played Demons for the first time, it was hard for me. Not because Demons was difficult, but because it felt like a step backwards to me, which in a way it kind of was. It was the original game, and they added other things to them later. But it was a situation where I would bring it up to people, and I was like, yeah, I don't like Demons as much as the other ones. And they're like, oh, how?
Even though...
So what it's not even with older games either. If there's a game that has like a loyal like
True.
dangerously
Yeah, yeah.
loyal fan base. You'll just get rabid like people in your chat.
Undertale.
And not even Undertale. I was gonna bring up DMC5. I have not
Oh,
played
see,
DMC5.
but see,
yeah.
that
I have
was
not played
one person.
DMC5 in 2 months, and it was because one person would not shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's like, well, if you just do this frame perfect trick, you could quadruple your damage. I'm like, it's frame perfect.
Doesn't matter. Just let me
I'm
play the
doing
game.
it. Stop.
I'm going to
gonna
hate
play it
this
my
game.
way.
That's
I think you had a moment like that. Like, not a moment like that, but you had a moment during your stream the other night that made it, like, it made a lot of sense where somebody pointed out something. They're like, oh, by the way, you missed this. And you're like, oh, thanks for that. But please don't fucking,
Don't tell me
like,
where it is, but let me know.
yeah. Yeah, let
Like,
me know it exists.
I don't want to step by step what combo's the best for Nero. I don't care.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
but like, oh, you missed the secret back there. Oh shit, really? That's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only backseating, I mean, I'll normally ask. I'm like, I hate this. What's the answer to this? Or whatever. You know what I mean? One of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get past that. The only one is where something locks me out. And I like I tell people, like Death Stranding is a good example. It looks like it locks you out from an area and actually doesn't. And so players will spend 20, 30 hours on the first area, maxing literally fucking everything when they don't have to. And if they come back later, it's 10 times fucking easier. But it keeps telling you all the way up to that point in the story, hey, do this because you're not gonna be able to come back here. You're not gonna be able to come back here. You're not gonna be, but you can. You legit can within 15 minutes of supposedly not being able to come back here. Within and they don't tell them that, and it's so fucking stupid. So I'll tell. I that's one of the things where I'll ask. I'll be like, I'll come in and be like, do you is this your first playthrough? Do you want a piece of advice regarding you wasting a lot of hours? If not, that's totally fine. But if you do, let me tell you, and I'll do that because I don't want people to waste their time. But if you're just learning a game, I'm not going to backseat shit. Even if I know something, I'm not going to tell them shit.
Yeah.
Unless it's on accident, like with Mario not knowing how to do something in Dogma.
Oh, yeah.
But that doesn't matter. None of that matters now. That's 20 years later. So
I gotta go back to Death Stranding because the last mission I did made me so like, fucking really? I couldn't believe it. I had to stop playing for a while, and it was the first pizza delivery mission.
Oh yeah, that one.
And they weren't even at the door to greet me when I brought them their pizza after dodging fucking oil whales and horrible ghosts. It's like, it's still hot. You don't want the pizza?
It's the way it is. That's what it is.
It's like the SpongeBob episode. You just gotta smash the pizza over their head.
Where's my drink?
Where's my drink?
Fallout's another game that's hard to play because of backseating and people's expectations.
Oh my god, yeah.
Vegas and 3. No, that's why it's kind of fun to play 4 because nobody gives a shit.
No.
They let you do what you want. You can play 4 all day and nobody be like, the most optimal outcome of this and that. Like you can't even play fucking Skyrim without a huge argument of whether or not Imperial or Stormcloak. I've seen that. People getting mad about fake politics in game.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's stupid to me.
Why are you siding with the Imperials? My character is an Argonian. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
You want me to join the Stormcloaks?
Yeah.
Be called a fucking carpet?
I do.
The funniest thing about that was fucking my first character was an Argonian and I joined Stormcloaks, and the only reason behind that was because I liked the Stormcloak guy at the start more than the other dude.
Oh yeah. I like the Stormcloak's armor better.
Yeah, that too. I thought the bear armor looked.
Yeah, the
really
bear armor.
good.
That's exactly the one I was thinking.
Here it is. Now we're making comparisons already, and all I did was mention it. Obviously.
But listen, let me talk about the armor. I had this fucking stupid moment where when I was playing it, and I'm standing in front of fucking Ulfric or whatever, and he's like, "Why would the Argonian want to join us?" Like, even he questions it, and I'm just looking at like the guy to the left of him wearing the bear suit armor, and I'm like, that. Oh, give me that.
Yeah, that
Alternatively, you could just murder one of him.
True.
Yeah,
Steal
I mean
shit.
that's true. like a moment where it's like they explain that, and my character's like, "Oh fuck, you're right," and they just pick up a big rock.
Oh man, I didn't think about it like that. I'm leaving.
You guys are racist. I'm out of here.
You know, I realized too. I realize I said all those things about how ridiculous it is to argue about this stuff, but I will sometimes be in a mood to just be an absolute shit and argue it for the sake of just arguing, just to drive somebody crazy. So, I'll normally pick out a point. I'll play devil's advocate if I have to, but when people get to like how bad the Stormcloaks are, I side with the Stormcloaks 100% because of one very specific thing, and I just rail that point over and over again, and it drives fucking people crazy. And I'm doing it on purpose, but they're getting upset. Well, there's two things. The fact that the Stormcloaks are the only ones that care about freedom of religion, and the Imperials don't because of Thalmor. And then the second one is the Thalmor. You cannot look at the Imperials as the Imperials anymore. They are now controlled by a foreign government. And if you just rail that over and over again, you will drive them out of their fucking mind. They will get so upset because you keep just ignoring the guy who's a dick, Ulfric, who's just but it just throws him out of the equation, and it drives them nuts because all they want to do is talk about how that guy's a piece of shit, and it's so funny to me.
And that's the funny thing to me too, because that's also my stance on that. I like how
we're actually because this is how everybody. This is how people get fucking baited into this immediately. It's so fucking easy, and then we go, I can't believe 8 people in my chat.
I can't believe people give a fuck about this. But let me explain.
But exactly. Boom.
With Ulfric.
That's it.
Then you have the average Parthenax enjoyers like me who don't even remember that the Civil War is a thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love him.
There's a lot of stuff in that game where it's just like, I just don't pay attention to it. Like a lot of, even like with the war, it's like, well, the war doesn't have to happen if I don't fucking care.
Yeah, nothing happens if I don't give a shit.
Well, and all the guild missions, they have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's nothing that really draws you to it. The main story doesn't draw you to it.
Main story, a little bit, just a little bit, where I think, isn't there something with the main story? Or
so you can't even remember it. It's not that impactful.
If you progress far enough into the main story, they argue about Parthenax, and like they declare
that was
a temporary ceasefire. Yeah.
I fucking hated the dragon people, the fucking or the blades. That's what they were called.
Well, yeah, because in Skyrim they're
shitheads.
Yeah, they don't do anything. You do everything, and then they tell you to kill the guy who did everything.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why I downloaded that mod that erases that whole thing. So he's still chilling.
It's stupid. Why would you do that?
It is stupid.
Because they're like,
Mario alone.
Just he's ancient Hitler, but a dragon. It's like, he's not the Hitler.
I wish there was a mod that replaced all of Parthenax's lines with a very good imitator of Mario.
Yeah.
Wahoo, Dragonborn!
That would be a good mod, I think.
Mamma mia, it's a Dragonborn!
A lot worse has been done to the modding community in that game, so I mean, why not? Really?
Why not?
I mean, we're never going to beat the Randy Savage dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, them coming out. Oh, yeah!
Those are the Thomas the Tank Engine ones.
Yeah, that one's good.
Fucking, oh, yeah! That was so much better than a roar off in the distance. It was, and also believable that the dragon would do that.
Oh yeah, how powerful!
Just look down and see your ass for a fight. Oh yeah, you're dead, brother.
Yeah. Stupid stretched out fucking face too.
No, that's just what Randy Savage looked like.
Yeah, that's just what I saw him. That was spooky, but he was there.
Yeah, he was there. He flew.
He removed some of his ribs to suck his dick.
Yeah.
That was Marilyn Manson.
That's not true!
Wasn't that Marilyn Manson?
That's the rumor, but it's not true.
I know it's not true. I'm saying...
Yeah, it's Marilyn Manson.
Okay. I can't believe it.
That's one of them. That's not true!
That's one of them rumors that just won't die. and it's
Yeah.
gone down through. It's like the universal S. It's the same thing with Marilyn Manson. There's fucking kids. There's kids in school right now. They're like fucking 13, 14, saying the exact same shit that we did about rumors of stupid people doing weird
Would
things.
it bother? Would it bother you if there's like a cave drawing that's discovered and they do the S?
That would really bother me, actually.
That'd be really fucking funny.
I think-
it's just like next to like some fucking drawings of cattle and shit.
Yeah,
They
the
just have, like,
Neolithic
men-
painting and then the Neolithic
Yeah.
S.
Oh, the Neolithic depiction of Marilyn Manson removing a rib.
No, that was the thing that fucking killed us
Ooh.
because they were talking. Some dude was talking about the Matrix effect of all of us living on a server and shit, and they talked about we all purposely came here and then forgot about it because of the Matrix and blah blah blah, and so that means that we all logged in at some point, and I was like, "Here's the server name," and I just posted the S. And everybody laughed, and then they thought about it, and they thought about it some more, and they were like, "That's something. That's how
What
it
does it
is."
mean?
Yeah, what does it mean that we all know the S? And I think the first sighting of the S was like in the 1800s. That's what I think.
Well, I
People-
think one of the most important things to remember with the S2 is just the fact that it's such an easy thing to do.
anyone can do it. If you can draw one straight line, and even
Yeah,
barely,
you did
then
it.
you can make the fucking S, and then
And you
everybody
don't
feels
forget
cool.
it.
Yeah, you don't forget how to do it either.
No, it's a very memorable kind of like symbol.
The S. in all of its
Somebody should
power.
associate it with something bad. and
Someone
then
should
make
copyright it.
terrible.
I don't think they can
I
copyright
don't
the
can
S.
you copyright it?
I don't
No,
know if they can.
They
I don't
can't-
know how copyrights work.
They can't copyright the S. It's too.
They
it's-
copyrighted the Nemesis System.
They sure did, and I know you want to get
did.
you want to get mad about that, but I'm gonna grab a smoke while you get mad at that, and also check out the fire that's nearby my house. I'll be back.
Hell yeah.
okay.
That's good.
Well, while Dragon
Well, let's
visits
talk about
hell,
Indigo.
let's talk about Inigo. I fucking love Inigo.
Yeah, Inigo. Inigo is cool.
So, for those of you
don't
who
know,
aren't in the know, Inigo is a follower mod for Skyrim, and he is the quintessential best follower mod, hands down. He's got over
Yeah.
10,000 lines of unique dialogue. He's got custom scripting for nearly every single situation in the fucking game, and he's got his own quest that's not finished. And we've been waiting for an update to him for like 3 years now, and we just got news that he's still working on it. It's not done yet. It's
Yeah.
almost done. But I really cannot play the game without Inigo installed.
Inigo, like it was a weird thing because before Inigo, I had Sophia downloaded.
I don't like
It was
Sophia.
another follower mod. I thought they were interesting. I thought it was the first mod that I had that had like a decent voice actor. Because some of the other ones, like their mics are kind of scuffed, like when they're talking into it.
Some of the characters are kind of weird.
Yeah, and there's some. That's the other thing. Is some of them are kind of weird. With Sophia, they're just kind of like an asshole that starts shit. And I like the fact that they like trigger dialogue with other people. Like she'll talk to Lydia or somebody else, and they'll make them say something.
Like
So I was
there's
like, that's really cool.
there's a pretty famous Fallout New Vegas mod for a companion called Willow, and it has compatibility with a bunch of sex mods, and it made me really uncomfortable.
Oh,
So I just didn't install her. But Inigo
everyone wants
adds
to
a
fuck
real, it really brightens up your Skyrim experience because a lot of the followers don't say shit when you're doing anything. They don't talk.
Oh,
They just
yeah.
kind of follow behind you like a robot. But Inigo will comment on things that happens. The enemies you fight, the areas you visit, the even places in towns he'll comment about. You know, the tree in the center of Whiterun, the tree of Kinnereth or whatever. He'll comment on that. Sometimes if you do a certain quest, he'll catch a cold and you have to bring him to that temple to cure him. Like this, it's
That's
just
cool.
there's just these little tiny things that make it feel like you're playing not with someone, but with an NPC that matters.
Yeah, you're playing with an NPC that you give a fuck about because they interact. Or it's literally I've seen so many people who have like Lydia and they just like there's the joke where they just slam into walls and shit and they just don't do anything.
Boot her off a
Actually,
cliff.
That's a thing with Inigo too. He kind of jokes about he there's a ton of times where he's like, I don't think she's blinked in like the past couple minutes. I
Yeah,
don't know what's up.
that's the thing that really got me. He has lines for like other companions in the base game.
Yeah. That was like the shit with because that was the thing that I thought was really interesting about Sophia at first, where they would talk to Lydia and Lydia would respond back and they'd like make
That's so
comments to them.
cool.
Yeah, that's cool to me. But the thing with Inigo was it was funny because there was a point where I got rid of Sophia while I was walking around with Inigo because she kept talking over him and I was like, shut the fuck up. You keep repeating lines. I'm sick of your lines. I want to hear what Inigo has to say. He has more lines than you.
He has more lines than any NPC in the fucking game.
I think that's the most interesting thing about him is the fact that he has so much to say. Like it's ridiculous how many voice lines he has.
He has so many voice lines that the creator of the mod put a necklace in his inventory that makes him shut up.
Yeah.
Like there's a necklace of "Shut the hell up, Inigo" in his inventory, and you can make him wear it. Well, no, it doesn't make him shut up. It just makes him talk less. But why would you want that? He's just a real bro.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing too, is the fact that
You can't sleep with him
yeah, that too.
because he's your
But
friend.
also he's your friend. He's just your pal. And I find it really interesting that he comments on just he'll keep track of your life. I like the
You can ask him what he thinks of you.
Yeah, and sometimes he doesn't like you, but he feels like he has a life debt to you because of your fucking some of the shit that his quest line stuff.
Yeah. Like he has an unmarked quest to go to the College of Bards in Solitude.
Yeah.
It is never like it doesn't give you a quest marker. He just mentions it in passing in a conversation, like, "Oh yeah, I've always wanted to be a bard. If we drop by there, I'll sing for you." And if you sit in the specific like chapel where you listen to bards, he'll start performing for you.
Oh yeah.
It's so like cool.
Who are we talking about?
We're talking about
there's the follower mod Inigo
for Skyrim.
I see.
We still haven't talked about the Nemesis System and why that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
go ahead if you want to talk about that.
For those, if you've ever played Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War, you'll be familiar with what the Nemesis System is, where it's like that system where NPCs are randomly generated and have different like strengths and weaknesses, and they will follow you and hate you depending on what you do to them. So I think it was Warner Brothers Interactive, the game studio, that copyrighted that game system. That's a really bad thing because that means
because nobody else can
no one else can use it unless they pay copious amounts of money to Warner Brothers, which just means no one will use it.
Yeah, and that I wonder what that means for a game like Odyssey. Odyssey kind of has that system, the mercenaries space.
I have no idea. Because we've seen this happen before when it came to Nintendo and Eternal Darkness. They copyrighted the sanity system, and no other fucking game has used it ever since. It's such a fucking shame.
Was it Eternal Darkness or was it the Dark Descent or whatever?
I thought it was Eternal Darkness.
Oh,
the GameCube game.
I'm thinking of another sanity system in Amnesia.
Well, the thing with the Eternal Darkness' sanity system, it would trick you into thinking the game would glitch out and like blue screen. It wasn't the sanity where, oh, my vision's going blurry. It was the game literally playing tricks on you.
Right.
And it was such an interesting system that they just put in the vault, not for anyone else.
Yeah.
No.
And
the worst thing is that they don't fucking use it.
No, we're never going to see the Nemesis system again. At least that specific version of it, which was really good.
Somebody will have to find a workaround to try to use something like that again.
Yeah.
We call it the villain system.
Arkham Asylum. Well, Arkham Asylum is the same people. And
it's still Warner Brothers Interactive.
Yeah, B that came out before Shadow of War.
And it's a more basic version.
Yeah. I guess that would have to come down to how they use it and then if they can get around that copyright for that.
Yeah.
Imagine we get to the point where somebody's just like, I'm copywriting crafting. You know,
Oh my god,
that's
yeah.
it. We did that.
Like, unfortunately, it can like get to that point where like this specific crafting system in my game, you can't use that.
Yeah,
Can't use it. It's mine now.
yeah.
It's so dumb.
Really is.
It's just one of those things. I mean, you get to a point where creativity. People are going to get scared from a lot of things, and a lot of certain genres of things are not going to get touched on because either the game did badly, or that's going to happen, or mechanics that were a good idea that aren't going to show up because of failure or whatnot. But then this is just legal, so it's even worse.
Yeah.
It's that worse feeling of it didn't matter how the game did or how successful the system was. They can just legally say you can't touch that.
Yeah.
Or be inspired by it, or use it in a similar way, or and
Yeah.
it's dumb because it isn't just about them thinking about it first, because they probably didn't. They're probably not the first
No.
ones that thought of something like that. They were just the first ones to implement it technology wise, because we're getting to that point where people can start doing whatever the fuck they want in games now, as it trickles in and gets better and better. And then people who were, I wonder if anybody was working on a project like the Nemesis System, and now they just have to stop.
And then it gets fucking copyrighted. Could you imagine? Holy shit.
See, one of the issues I saw people arguing about, but where it was a good thing, people are arguing about like, well, what about like the Havoc physics engine? That's a physics engine. It's not a gameplay mechanic.
Right.
No one wants to make a physics engine from the ground up. It's a pain in the ass.
Right.
But a simple game mechanic like it's not simple, but a game mechanic like the Nemesis system, a lot of games could benefit from that. Not every game could benefit from a physics system.
Yeah, depending. Yeah.
So, like, it's not the same. You can't compare them.
Yeah, renting the basic groundwork to make a game is different than, hey, just make sure you don't do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, Warhammer is a good example of this, because those guys will hand out the license like crazy. They don't care.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to make one of those games, they'll hand that license out. The one thing you can't do is make minis. They go crazy when you even touch that. They'll go fucking nuts when you can do that. And the time is coming when people can get their hands on easy access to 3D printing. That'll be it.
Yeah.
That will be fucking.
Well, that's it's already happening.
Once 3D printing gets more clean and what's it called, accurate?
Yeah, availability.
Like their market's just gonna shrivel up.
There's already, like, on the minis topic, I've been getting into minis a lot lately, and fucking there's already stuff where people are just making just models for specific armies and shit, and it's like, hey, you see those models? We printed them out with better details on them.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing about Warhammer is I think there's less players compared to hobbyists who are just like, they just want them for the fucking look of them and to paint them and shit.
Oh, for sure.
They look cool.
For sure. And there's not really a place, unless you live in major cities, there's really not a place to use them. So you really only do collect them for aesthetic purposes. And then, it's then you got stuff like Hero Forge, which lets you design your own mini, and then they'll just send it to you.
Yeah.
It
doesn't always look the best, but it's like fucking, it's better than nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Techie's got one of Techie. He's got a little Techie figurine. He wanted it.
Oh, that's
hell yeah.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
It's one of the ones I've sent you. He just wanted it and had a coupon, and he's so on his desk is a little miniature of Techie.
That's cool.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's cute.
There's fucking I remember you bringing that up. There was like some Kickstarter a while back where they threaded, like they tried to thread the needle way too hard, or they were like, oh, we're making Warhammer like armies.
No.
Where they made them they were really good sculpts, better quality than some of like the normal like fucking Games Workshop shit, where there was like just very fine details, but the names were way too similar. Where I think they even like they had, I think there was like a thing where they had mentioned that one of the models was based off of the fucking wolf dudes. What the hell are they called?
Space Wolves.
Yeah, the space wolves. And they had like, I think it was something like Lupin fucking whatever, and it's like, dude, you can't go that close. It's too close.
Lupus of the Void.
Lupus of the Void.
Legally distinct, all right.
Yeah, it's very
Legally
different.
distinct. It's kind of wolf-like, space
And maybe
dude.
they thought if Blizzard could do it, then they could do it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's different because Blizzard has more money than you.
That's true, but they still did lose that case about their own minis. They still lost that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know about that.
they lost that. Games Workshop said no. We don't care about your games. We care about the minis because that's all they care about. You cannot have Zerg minis and you cannot have Space Marine minis.
Yeah,
And they
dude.
sure enough, and it's true. If you put a side by side comparison of Zerg and Tyranids, I don't know how you can argue that. You can't. You just can't.
Dude, it.
I
wonder how much like Games Workshop makes so much fucking money off of minis.
Oh, they sure do.
Like,
and the licensing
holy
now,
shit.
which is what their biggest thing is. And depending on the company, I am waiting at a certain point for Creative Assembly to be told, stop. You're making too much content because we can't come up with a way to profit off of it because we can't just keep redesigning our factories to make these different things, or we just don't want you to control the narrative.
Yeah.
Because it seems like the more people get into Total War and the Warhammer series, which doesn't do a whole lot of end times, which is what they're trying to push, it's like they're controlling the narrative. And now, Games Workshop is going to get to the point where they're not going to be known for the fantasy element of Warhammer. It's going to be fucking Creative Assembly.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to be them because they're the only ones producing the content people want for it, at least. And I wonder when that's going to happen.
That is funny to me.
Yeah, and it's Creative Assembly at the end of the day kind of fucked up. I mean, their whole brain was like, yeah, we finally got the license to do a Warhammer game. We're going to do fantasy. This is what we wanted. It's what everybody, this is the perfect series to use it for, is Total War. And okay, so our first game, we're going to have some humans, some orcs, some dwarves, and some chaos is what we're going to have. And hooray for that, right? And then the whole fan base was like, this is good, but where's the rest of my content? And they drunkenly stumbled into a fan base that's like, I don't think you understand. If you make my race, I will put whatever amount of money I need to.
I have so much money.
Yeah.
You don't underestimate me.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they were. I mean, it was a bunch of people who already had disposable incomes because of all the bullshit they buy from GW. Why not this?
Yeah, exactly.
Why not some DLC?
You're talking to the kind of people that are willing to just say, yeah, I'll pay $1,000 for a bunch of plastic miniatures that I can only use for one game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
There's quote unquote people.
Yeah. I mean, that's the funny thing about it. It's so hard for people to get into a game like Total War because of the amount of what looks to be predatory DLC. But what they don't seem to understand is that the core community of the Warhammer Total War group, they want more DLC all the fucking time. They're not people that go, oh, here we go again, more paid DLC, whatever. No, their fucking ass is like, I'll drop $20 6 times a month. I don't fucking care. Give me more.
Yeah.
I want my favorite guy, and I want him to fight my least favorite guy, so I gotta buy both.
So I gotta buy both of them. I gotta do both.
They primarily do business with whales.
Yeah.
Yes,
And in
and they
their
have a
own
lot of
right,
whales.
it makes no difference to me because I'm a guy who was in the ground. I was on the ground floor. So $20 every 6 months to buy new DLC to me is nothing. I already own the rest of them. But for
Yeah,
somebody to come into it the first time, like somebody like Mario, and then realizes
yeah,
that
that's
the base game and the first base game must be bought in tandem, and there's like $100 worth of DLC after that, suddenly you're playing Train Simulator.
yeah.
You know.
That was the thing that got me where I was like, "Fuck, I want to play Total War," but
Yeah, there's so much, and if you're one of the people, God help you, that likes a lot of races,
oh yeah,
then you're really fucked. You know.
just want to play Beastman.
Yeah, well, wait for their
When will they
patch.
make them good?
They're not
Yeah,
gonna.
when will they make them
Wait
good?
for the next game.
The next game's coming. Maybe you get a chance then.
Maybe then. Oops, whoops, not.
You
The
could be a
Sorry,
you could be
buddy.
you could be a clown like me and want to play the game, but you're just shit at strategy games.
That's true. You could be like
Yeah, that
Kaz.
too. I'm also shit at strategy games.
Learn how to lose at phase 1 with me.
Hell yeah,
Turn
baby.
1 and I lost. How did that happen? I don't know.
Haha.
Ah, shit. Probably should have auto-resolved that.
Maybe you should have. I've been playing strategy games for years, and everything it's just like anything else. You know, you learn the language of platformers. You learn the
Yeah.
language of first person shooters. And strategy is one of those. You learn the language. You play one strategy game, you can, and if you get good at one strategy game, you can normally play the others, unless it's Stellaris, and in which case you need to understand a little bit more than that.
Oh, too big brain for me.
Mostly because it's not turn based. Mostly, so you have to get comfortable with that.
All my life I've avoided fucking strategy games. So it was not a fun experience getting my face kicked in every single time I tried to play any race.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'd say dwarves are the friendliest in terms of ease of
I
access.
got the furthest with the Empire when I started as Carl.
Yeah, Carl's got an easy start.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You're the Emperor.
Yeah, he can get a very nice province. Altdorf is a very nice city. He can, I mean, it's kind of funny. It used to be Balthazar was a pretty easy start, and now it's not. Now Balthazar is one of the hardest starts like in the game if you play on like legendary.
Oh really?
Yeah, because you got vampire counts that suddenly can now do things for whatever reason. I don't know why they do, but they take over everything. The other nations want to kill you, and there's orcs coming.
Can you play as vampires in the game?
Yeah,
Oh, I
You
didn't
play
know
as
that.
anybody.
yeah, you can play. Yeah, you can
As
play.
long as you have the DLC. You want
As
it?
long as
It's
you
yours,
have
my
the
friend.
Yeah, vampire counts are base first game.
Dark Elves.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're one of the older races, old world races, like we call them. And vampire counts have 1 or 2 DLCs. I think they only have the one.
Vampire
I see.
Coast. Dark Elves? Dwarves? You want it? It's yours, my friend.
Oh yeah, they're all there. But
As long as you have enough money.
and we're about to get even more.
Hell
Kislev,
yeah.
fucking, and
Oh,
they
yeah,
got to bring
Kislev.
in them chaos doors. I think
Beastman. Chaos? It's yours, my friend.
I am ready for chaos dwarves if they launch them
I've
the
been
way I think
hearing
they're going to
people
launch them.
theorize Chaos Dwarves for the longest time.
I think the chaos dwarves are going to be like they released Norska at the end of the first game's life cycle.
Yeah.
But they were a pre-order bonus for the second game. So if you pre-ordered the second game, you could play those guys in the first, and then you could play them in the second game, obviously as well. But I
How'd you
think
feel if instead of Chaos Dwarves they got Nippon?
I wouldn't be happy with that. I
I
would not be happy with that, and I'm already very dubious about Grand Cathay. I'm already very upset about that. I'm not upset about it. I just don't care. Everyone's losing it about that. And maybe they'll change my mind. I would love to have my mind changed with some cool models, some cool play styles, interesting mechanics. I'm all right with that. But as it stands right now, I didn't buy Three Kingdoms for a reason. I just can't care about a historical or regular man army when I can play giant monsters that shoot magic.
It's so much cooler.
Yeah, I just
It's
can't
way
care.
cooler.
How could you go back?
Why
Unless
would
you're
you
like a
wanna
super
play-
big history nerd.
Yeah, why would you? Yeah, exactly.
Well, it
Well,
depends.
that's the fucking.
That depends though, because there are some ones. I went back and played Shogun 2 because it's fucking stupid, and honestly one of the better Total War games. I play it for the mechanics, right? And eventually I will get bored enough to play it for the mechanics. But Three Kingdoms doesn't bring enough to the table for me to spend $60 on that when I could just play Total Warhammer 2.
Yeah.
You know, Shogun has the nostalgia value. It has the fact that it was one of the better Total War games in terms of balance and all that.
Yeah.
It's funny. You know, there's quotes from that game people don't even realize are from that game that we hear about in gaming like constantly. Your men are running from the battlefield. A shameful display. I mean, everyone's heard that at one point or another, and that's from that game. So, things like that. So it was just,
Yeah. Fucking.
And of course, a lot of weebs played it.
Neat. Oh yeah, well yeah, of course.
Super weebs.
That's the main audience for that.
I've only tried to play strategy games like one time before Total War Warhammer, and that was Dawn of War 2, another Warhammer based game.
That's a great one. I like 2 more than I like 1.
I tried playing the Orcs, and I don't know how to play strategy games. I don't understand how to build houses. I just want to hit things.
It depends. A lot of people out there that grew up on the Warcraft games. They grew up playing Civilization. They played Age of Empires. That's another one. People loved Age of Empires, and
oh yeah.
I remember a cousin tried to get me into the fucking Warcraft games.
I was never interested.
I think he got me a little bit where they had like, I think there was one with a lot of story stuff, and I only more paid attention for the cutscenes. And then other shit happened, and it's like, fuck, I gotta play the game now?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
I played StarCraft. I played a lot of StarCraft.
You also tried to get me into StarCraft. I could not get into that one.
No, I couldn't play any of them.
I played a lot of StarCraft. I was, that was during the time of the Blizzard Golden Age where they could do no wrong, and they did no wrong for quite some time.
And then they did a lot of wrong really fast.
And they did a lot of wrong, yeah, really quickly. But
even the people who weren't Blizzard fans, they did a lot of wrong real fast.
Yeah. No, I mean, I played
Blizzard
a lot
just
of.
Beat that man out in the street like that.
I played a lot of StarCraft and a lot of Diablo 2, Diablo 1, mostly 2. So and I played SimCity at that time too a lot. I played the newest SimCity, and I like city building. It's what I've grown accustomed to on a PC. I understand it. I know the language of it, so it's easy for me to jump into strategy games. I feel like I've dipped my toes into most genres of games. I've played strategies like Command and Conquer, StarCraft.
I've dipped my toes and I have been scalded most of the time. Like, oh man, this horror game looks oh man, this strategy game looks
Oh, I know a genre of games I didn't pay attention to. Point and click adventures. Hate them.
I've never played them. I've never been good at them.
Hated point and click adventures. Hated them.
I didn't hate them as a kid.
Hated them.
I played a few as a kid, but I never really liked them. It was just something to do.
Techie likes them. I don't like them. I don't like any of that stuff. Which sucks because there's that one that's out, the Gator New York City. That one's real cute, but I just can't bring myself to play it.
I've seen that one before.
Because it's point
and click. Is it like the beat 'em up one?
No, that's a different one. Which is
no, you're talking about what's it called?
Later Alligator.
Later Alligator, yeah.
That one's real cute.
The animation's so fun.
Yeah, the animation's fun.
I don't hate point and clicks. I enjoy them. for the most part, but I can't really like.
There's no reason for me to play one. I find no
Yeah.
reason to gravitate towards playing one.
Yeah. I'm not
Because
really
really,
a
in the end, with
story
point
guy.
and clicks, it's like it's the story,
I'm
and
not
that's
a
not really
story
why I want to
person.
play a game.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
want to
no.
play something.
Yeah. Which is another reason that I like city builders and stuff, where I get to create it.
Yeah.
Des Rambler makes a good point. I like watching point and clicks. I hate playing them.
Yeah, that's like me with horror games. I love watching players like some people play horror games because I can't. It's hard for me to play them, mostly because of the chase. I hate the chase. I don't like the feeling of something nipping at my heels.
Well, now that you say that would be another genre I don't have a lot of experience in. It's horror games.
I don't hate horror games.
I've
Horror
played
games are
I've
kinda
played a
fun to me.
few, but they're always really hard for me to get through. Like I've played
Just hate
Amnesia.
horror games you can't defend yourself in. I hate
I've played Soma.
being big baby.
In a way, I do hate that because it's like a thing of it does become a situation where it's like, if anything, I feel like it would be, I would like a horror game where they allow me to attack something. Like it's like, here, there's a pole right here. You could grab it and swing it, and you may like hit it at the monster or something. Like say if it was Amnesia and the fucking thing is running at you, and you could just pick up a brick to the side of you and throw it at it, and it just does nothing, and
Well,
you realize you truly are helpless. That would be great.
That's a big issue when it comes to games where you can't defend yourself, because after a certain point it stops being scary because you realize you're just playing hide and seek.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
pretty
hate
much.
that.
Once you realize where the AI can go and where it can, it's like, okay, well, guess it's not scary anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't get scared the same way, and I don't want to buy something I know I'm only going to play once.
Yeah, because once you play through a horror game, it's like, well, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, what was the last horror game I played? I played
Five
that
Nights
game-
at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's. No, I played the one that was the one that wasn't even actually a finished game. It was the demo.
PT. You talk
For-
about PT.
Yeah, PT. I played PT, and it was kind of boring to me. It had a lot of jump scares, and some of them did get me, but in the end, it was just like, I don't know. It was not all that scary to me.
Oh, that's right, Phasmophobia. That's such a good game.
Of Phasmophobia.
It's so fucking scary. I remember I tried playing it. I tried streaming a single player playthrough, and I could not do one mission. Because I walked in the door and I heard the ambient noise and I heard the floor creaking above me, and I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that to myself.
Yeah, it's fucking. I haven't played it, but I've seen tons of people play it, and I like the fact that I can see how that would be scary as
It's
fuck.
so fun.
And even when you have a friends with you, it's still horrifying.
It's so fun because when you don't use Discord and just chat using the in-game chat.
Oh yeah.
When like your friend's dying and there's static and you just hear nothing on the other end, you get a real sense of dread.
Yeah.
You got to go back in there.
Yeah, it's like, uh-oh.
I haven't played that one.
It's so fun.
I do know that PT came out at a great time because that's when the Nexus was still talking to each other. And
Oh yeah.
it was really funny to watch all of those people's like trying to play PT, especially Rufio. He is a huge bitch. he fucking had a hard time with PT, man. He was.
I also want to mention that Phasmophobia. I didn't know this, but apparently the game detects your microphone even if you're not talking. Like if you're not pressing the button to talk to your friends, it's still sensing whether you're making noise.
Oh wow!
So if you're like cowering in a corner when the ghost is hunting, you're like, it's gonna eat your ass.
Is that a noise you make when you're playing Phantasmaphobia?
Yes, I've made that noise. That was one of the first times I played, and the fucking like a little girl sprinted up to my ass. I crouched in the corner, turned my flashlight off, and went.
I think the most recent scary game that I've played was probably Minecraft.
Minecraft is scary.
Minecraft is horrifying.
If everything lines up, if you're in a cave and you hear the cave noise, or like you're What bothers me about Minecraft is, say you're deep down in a mine, and you're like you're in a strip mine, and you're really in a
You're in strip mine.
closed and like condensed space. Sometimes in the back of my head, I'll be like, okay, what if ghosts aren't real, but what if a ghost was real in Minecraft and it's standing right behind me?
The funniest thing is,
I'd shit my pants.
I've been jump scared in Minecraft, which is hilarious to me
because it happens a lot.
I turn around and monsters get spawned in the dark areas, and I just go around just like, oh skeleton, no, please.
Or like
I've heard
a
him
fucking
too.
creeper
That's true.
drops down.
I've heard that exact sound from him. He's telling the truth. It's exactly
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happens to him.
The worst is like when I know death is incoming. Like death doesn't really have a problem in that game, except for when you have something with you. And the worst is like, no, please, I have so much on me. I'm falling in this
I
water.
literally just got diamonds.
Yeah.
Please stop. No.
We should play Minecraft again.
I think
Yeah.
the last game that like legitimately freaked me out for like a scene at least was probably The Forest. Only because I hadn't learned about the game and I didn't really know what it was that I was gonna.
You didn't know about the crazy people.
Yeah, and I knew they were there, and I was messing around with their shit, and I was like, okay, this is when they come and get me, right? And it just turned dark. I turn open the flashlight and I look out into the woods, and I didn't even realize, and this is rare for me, I didn't even realize I just scanned over one of them.
Fuck.
And then when I lean, my brain kind of clicks and goes, what was that? And I lean back to that spot where it was, and my eyes focus on one of them standing by the bushes. And as soon as I notice that it's a person, it bolts off running to the side.
That's so scary.
And I was like, motherfucker. And that story I told you from back in Florida, as you can imagine, that got me. That was like, God, fuck you. Oh, I'm a man. No. I can handle this. I shave. And I was just like,
I'm a big boy.
I did not shit my pants.
I
did not.
Like that's such good AI. Like, oh man, the player stared at me too long. I got to sprint away.
The AI in The Forest, it is interesting, and when you understand what they do, it's actually I can't get scared of that game anymore because I know.
Is that true, Des Rambler? They're programmed to try and stay out of your direct line of sight.
That's
so scary. I hate that.
They have a behavioral pattern to where they're going to react to certain things that you do. If you immediately run at them and attack them, if you basically act crazier than they are, they're going to come back with more of them. And they're going to keep their distance until you've got your back turned on them or whatever. Like they do all kinds of different shit. At one point, and the more passive you are with them, the more passive they are with you because it seems like you're both just checking each other out.
Yeah.
It really does feel like they're thinking about something. They do a good job with that. It's crazy.
That's good.
Yeah, The Forest does some very interesting shit, and they are programmed to stay out of your line of sight, and they fucking do. And they go still when you look at them. They watch you. They'll run off, go grab their buddies, and they'll run a far distance to do that too. Like if one gets away from you and he's just gone, expect more to show up because they're coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and honestly, the cannibal people are the coolest thing about it. The thing creatures or whatever.
Yeah, the surprise.
Yeah, the surprise. Cave. Yeah, those different surprises. They're whatever. I find the cannibals way more interesting, which is a shame because after the first part of the game, you're never concerned about them again.
Oh.
You've already glued so many teeth to your fucking axe that you're killing them really quickly and none of they start to realize that you are dangerous and they keep their distance and they start to, after they've attacked you with enough waves, they just don't come back. They're like, fuck that guy.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, dude's got a fucking katana he found in this cave. I'm
out of here. Eat his ass.
Yeah, his ass is not for eating. Yes, he is not worth it. And I try to get as crazy as they do because that's basically that would have been my response in real life. I'm just gonna out crazy them for survival. You know, I'm gonna make a
Yeah.
peacock of hands.
I'm
on
an
my-
agitated animal. Get out of here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna beat them. I'm gonna beat them with their own severed leg.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a peacock of hands and then like attach it to my back. I'm just gonna run out there like fucking Shiva on crack. Like, if I think they're even looking at me, I'm just gonna be like howling and making weird noises and just bashing on a tree, and they're just gonna leave my ass alone. They don't want that.
Don't eat him. You'll catch what he's got.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's the Forest is a fun game. I think it's a lot more fun with friends and like most games. And
Oh yeah.
They're making a sequel.
I'm glad they're
never-
making the sequel, because if they focus on what makes that game unique, then that's going to be really good.
That's right. The survival crafting.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's always a funny thing to recommend in a game is whenever someone says it's good with friends, because it's a thing of, well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, most games are better with friends. That's why I'm trying to get people to play Valheim, which is a game I'm going to be streaming soon. I promise it's going to happen.
Oh hell yeah.
At some
What
point.
is Valheim? Explain what that is.
Valheim is it is a survival crafter, but it's a voxel survival crafter. It is very far into its early access quotation mark development. It has a lot to do. I think the building mechanic is one of my favorite things. You can actually build Viking longhouses in a decent way, in a unique way that is not just a box if you don't want to. And not things are not handed to you very easily. And I like that about the game.
Yeah, it's fun. You got to work for it.
You got to work for it. It's got a goal. It's got an objective. It's got a huge map.
Huge cock.
Even playing with friends, you are not going to be hurting for spots. Even the beginning area is big enough for everyone to have their own space, and then some.
Oh, that's cool.
You're not going to be fighting over wood or trees or anything like that. You might be fighting at the beginning before you have a pickaxe for like flint and stone. You might be fighting for that, but not after once you get the pickaxe, you know.
What we do to pickaxe?
So the pickaxe.
No one's gonna get that joke.
It's me, the Dwabba.
It's me.
I can eat these.
Shoddy, like
No, I hate you. Yeah, it is. It is.
I'm surprised that it's voxel based though. You don't really see that.
Oh yeah.
And it works. Mario was watching it.
Yeah.
And it's the art style is very charming, and you don't. There are very few craft survival games out there that are charming to look at.
Yeah.
Or pretty, like
Minecraft.
yeah. But Minecraft is a game that fucking came out 15 years ago, or it feels like at least.
And people still look at it and they're like, "Oh, that's
RTX
not
on, baby."
But then you look at the multitude of other games that either tried to replicate it or did the whole DayZ survival crafting thing.
Oh yeah.
They all run like shit. They all
Yeah.
they're not very intuitive. That's another problem, is like menus being intuitive.
Yeah.
They always run like crap for that reason. They don't feel good to play. They're not very snappy. They always have that weird. They always want to make you feel like a human being that's running, but you're not really a human being that's running. So it just makes you feel awkward and like your character's made of stiff, broken bones. You know, it doesn't feel good. I don't like that. And in this game, it doesn't do that. And it's a third person as well, which is not unique, but it is on the rarer side for a survival crafting game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It being third person. So, and it's just fun. I've had a lot of fun with it, and I've still barely scratched the surface of what it has to offer, and I'm sure
It certainly doesn't look bad.
no, it's very charming to look at. It's got its own style. When you're walking through the woods and a troll fucking knocks over trees to get to you, that's pretty sick.
Oh, there are trolls.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds
That
of
sounds
shit.
kind of cool, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's trolls.
They're
and-
fucking big. I saw Shining Head Productions fucking streaming it, and he was using the parry mechanic, against it, and it looked really sick because the troll's big ass fucking fist slammed down on him, and he parried it. And there was this quick like light up flash of him parrying it, and the fist like bounced off the player, and the troll like legit stumbled back a little bit. And
As you
he
would.
just kept yeah, and he just kept fucking parrying it, and it looked really fucking cool.
Yeah,
No, that
and
sounds cool.
it's like if you had the level up system from an Elder Scrolls game where you just get better at something by doing it.
Yeah.
The open worldness of a survival crafter, some of its mechanics of survival crafter, and then I guess a modern hack and slash. I'm doing my best not to say Dark Souls. I hope you know that. A
Very
third person.
Souls-like.
Yeah, fuck off. It is kind of Souls-like. That's the thing. Is the combat
Yeah, it
feels
does have the dodge and roll.
yeah, it feels. But I haven't even used the dodge yet. I mostly just sprint around the fight.
Does jumping help?
Jumping can help, yeah. You really gotta watch your stamina. Stamina is fucking everything. So
The jump looks really nice.
yeah, for what it is.
Yeah.
You build a boat, you go and you do things. I honestly, look, I've already put in 15 or so hours into it, and for an early access game, for me not to have scratched the surface of it, that says a lot.
Oh yeah.
Because there's still
Yeah,
just
the more
lots
the
of
more I
stuff.
learn about it, the more interested I become.
Yeah, it is. It is
Yeah.
interesting, and that's all I really. That's the only way I'll sell it. You've played a lot of survival crafters in the day. This one is both relaxing yet a bit unnerving. It's not unfair, but it's not that easy. The beginning area is kind of easy, and then you get outside of that, and you're like, "Oh, I actually have to care."
Yeah.
And that's immediate. That is immediate. They wanted the beginning area to just make you happy with what you're doing, but after that, you're like, "Okay, big boy town."
Not screwing around anymore.
Yeah, and every upgrade feels worth it. Every tool is useful. Also, there's the I love the repair mechanic in the game. It doesn't seem to cost anything, but you have to repair the weapon or armor or tool at a crafting station that is the appropriate level for that weapon. So you can't repair a super weapon at some just random ass crafting station. You can't do that. You have to do it back at the spot that you probably made it, because that has all this stuff attached to it.
Yeah.
So, and then you can repair it. So I just walk up to shit and I'm like, repair, and everything's repaired and fine. And that means that weapon that you made is going to stay with you. So many survival crafters are like, oh, that's broken, that's gone.
Yeah, gone.
Yeah. Like that's
Good
dead.
job, idiot.
But that's not the case in this. If it fucking breaks, it just stays in your inventory and you can go back and repair it. So that's a good feeling, because that means you can make stuff feel, I don't know, unique. Like this is the flint knife I killed a bunch of shit with. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
So,
I like that feeling in games.
Yeah. It's got a stagger mechanic. It's got a sneak mechanic. Archery feels nice, a little tricky to get around because you don't just shoot like a hit scan. You know what I mean? You got to know what you're doing. Take some practice to get used to. It's good. It's good. I like it. I do. I really like it.
I like it.
So, and it's $20 on Steam. If
You were paid to say this.
Yeah, I was not. This is not a paid promotion. This is my own. This is my own recommendation. No one's paying me to say it, and there you go. No one's paying me to say anything on these podcasts. So, but here we are.
If you can pay him to say something, please do.
Depends on if I like the product. I won't lie. I won't lie for anyone.
Just open up like voice work commissions. Be like Big Man Tyrone.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't think my voice is interesting enough for that. So
It doesn't matter as long as you say what they pay.
that's true.
Yeah.
As
long as they want you specifically to say it.
It's true. Yeah, I when it comes to sponsorships, I'm not gonna lie for a product, and I'm not gonna talk about a product I don't use either. I'm not doing that. That's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen.
I think Valheim's also just is about to get a big surge of people supporting it, because I just noticed Not to plug anybody, but a big streamer that I follow is playing it right now.
There you go. That's
Good old Vinny Vine Sauce.
It's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be huge.
Wow, Vinny is fucking playing it.
Yeah, Vinny's playing it.
I'm telling you. Look, ground floor here, people. That's what it is. So buy Dogecoin today.
Yes, buy Dogecoin. Get Valheim with your Dogecoin money.
Body like a melody.
In my
so
head.
stupid.
Please laugh.
I will not.
Damn it.
I will not laugh.
I laugh.
All right. Well,
Incredibly funny.
we're at an hour and 40 minutes, and at some point I got to download this. So, do you guys have anything you want to add or have the get off your chest, something like that?
Yeah.
If you like single player games, I would give Control a shot.
Control
really,
is good.
really
I also can recommend Control.
It's a third person shooter.
Control is really
If you like those. The main character might be a girl, but they're really likable. They have not said a single thing I've disagreed with.
I like for anybody that doesn't know that know us, like, or that'll be like, wait, why is
no, she's a well-written character, and her internal dialogue isn't cringy. Like she says things I would probably say to myself.
Yeah.
So it feels natural.
Yeah. And honestly, I was surprised by the game.
It's really good.
It's pretty too for what it is. It's
if you got Game Pass on PC, you already own it.
That's true. You got nothing to lose if you got Game Pass.
Yeah.
Nothing to lose. No, Control is a good one, and if you're looking for something more open-ended, Valheim, and get excited for Warhammer.
Like a melody.
Because, man, when Warhammer 3 comes out, I hope that I stream that a lot instead of just staring at a fucking wall. I really fucking hope that I stream that a lot. Like, because, man, that's going to be big.
Man.
I'm going to go fucking nuts over that shit. Oh, crap. I'm getting hyped for it, which means it's going to suck. That's how it goes.
Hell yeah,
that's been my luck for
how it works.
6 fucking years.
You
man.
ruined this game.
I did personally.
Right now. If you want to be upset about Total War 3,
why do you hate
personally?
I know.
Yeah, why do you hate Warhammer so much, Dragon? Why do you like? Why do you seethe in rage in the middle of the night?
I ruin everyone's good time.
Just sitting there hating Warhammer.
Why did you physically trash a Games Workshop?
Why don't you think Shoddy Like a Melody is funny?
In my head.
Well,
answer the question.
I think we've hit the plateau on this one.
The plateau.
The height, the ceiling of this. Where do we go?
I mean, there's
from
nothing
here?
funnier than Shoddy Like a Melody. In my
nothing,
head.
nothing at all. There's nothing that has ever been created by people that is funnier than that fucking senseless Zoomer joke. Yes, absolutely.
I'm glad you finally agree with us, Dragon.
Fuck
you.
you.
Can end the episode
long
on
enough.
Unbelievable.
Really? You're so stubborn.
Unfucking believable. Well,
it's quite simple, really.
Thank you. Fuck you both. Fuck you both. It's not funny.
It's super funny.
It's not fucking funny. It's a fucking bad joke. Anyway,
pretty good.
Thank you guys for watching. It was a fun podcast. That was Kaz.
Hello.
And Mariosack.
Hello.
That's not Mariosack. The one laughing all the time, that's him. That's Mariosack.
Yeah, that's me. You can be upset at everyone.
Kaz also streams on Twitch if you're interested.
Unfortunately.
So he's been playing Control recently, so if you want
every day I grow more and more closer to emerging from my cocoon and becoming God. And by that I mean I one step closer to becoming a VTuber.
That's true. Kaz is going to be a VTuber
that is Christ
eventually.
Consciousness.
Yeah, that's definitely a higher plane of thinking for sure as being a VTuber.
That is. I mean,
I'm ascending.
I can't wait for Kaz to explode and then we're not friends anymore.
Yeah,
like every other one of the people that I've met on Twitch. I can't wait for that to happen. And then he copyrights claims my videos. So there's no proof he was ever here.
I'm gonna. Watch your ass.
I know it's coming. And Mariosack is also a character artist who
I
does a
do.
lot of D&D
Commissions.
stuff and
He's
commissions.
open for commissions.
And,
I am open for commission. Please give me your money.
There you go. Simple as that. Both of which can be found in the description of the YouTube video this is eventually going on. And I'm not lying about it like half of YouTube. I don't know why that's such a thing when they say, I'm going to put that link in the description, and they fucking don't. But
I hate when that happens.
I don't know what that's about, but they will be there.
They probably don't edit their videos.
The
They
baby.
probably
Probably don't listen to
Yeah,
it.
and the guy's like asleep, whoever's supposed to be doing that. He's just
Yeah.
not watching. And I, of course, stream on Twitch. Not that anyone on YouTube cares, but, I'm here doing this. Shout out to the PP Poo Poo gang. You guys are the best. That's good that you still exist in my life. And Mars, who's apparently
You stuck
watching.
to the end, so you can hear the pee pee poo poo.
I wonder if they get to that point where they listen for the PP Poo Poo.
Yeah.
Shout out
I
to
hope they
Haha,
do.
that's me.
Yeah, shout out
Shout out to Shoddy.
Shout out to that. No, not to that. Don't shout out to that one. All right, guys. Have yourselves a good one. Goodbye.
That's good.